And that worked just as I expect. Well, just as I would want it to. So let's break down this workbench. And the turtle. Grab everything and head inside. Right, let's make myself a torch. So there go some sticks. I'm just going to make, actually 4 torches will be enough for now, I guess. Oh, is that a cow or an enderman? I really don't know. Okay, let's place down our workbench. I need to make myself a sword, so I can then go and grab food and whatnot later on. That's not how you make a sword. That's how you make a sword. Okay. So doesn't look like there's too much going on outside at the moment. Okay, right. What to do next? I need to secure some food, and there's a creeper and skeletons outside. That's not going to be good for my escape. So, I suppose for the moment, what I'm going to do is, right. If I say like the bottom right corner is always going to be the fuel, so let's. I'm going to. That's not how you spell that. That's how it is. Okay, so what I'm planning on doing is essentially I want to make a ton of APIs that will make things a whole lot easier in the long run, although it'll take a bit more extra coding. So, right, I'm going to have to look up about. Let's forget that for a moment. So one thing I want to eventually do is, so when I move around, I can keep track of its location, and if I can modify the original APIs to do that, well, if I can make an API that will do that, then well, we'll be good. Okay, so what do I want to do first? I want to. Okay, that's it. Let's call it the fuels. Right, the refuel API, because that's one function we're going to be using a lot. So if we say fuel always goes in the bottom right, is there a way of knowing? Ooh, I suppose I can just do it that way. I've got a tablet out which I've been using for checking stuff while I've been writing. So, okay, so before we do that, let's create a new select API. So, basically what I want to do, if I'm correct, I can do it. So, I want to create, no, what am I doing? I wonder if this will work. Okay, so let's. I'm creating a variable for select position. I suppose. Anyway, so what I want to do is I want to change what the select function does. And I believe I've seen it written like this. How you can do it. So first I need to set. So I'll call it the base select equals to the original function. So this is essentially overriding. So I set the original function to, I don't know why I'm pointing at the screen, set the original function to my own alias, and then I'm changing changing what the function does. So turtle.select, what I need to do is have a parameter parameter here. So we've got a parameter called position. So actually, do we need that? I probably don't want those, do we? So I'm going to have a variable called select position, which hopefully, I don't quite know how it will work, whether it will work as I expect it. So I want it to save the position to a variable, so I know exactly what part of memory, well, what slot I am currently using. So if I call the original, so let's put a comment. Position cross. Okay, let's try. Okay, I can delete the Heidi one, and I can delete the quick call. I might keep the quick door, as that one could be useful. Okay, so just a quick test program, I guess. So actually, before I do that, what is it called? Select? Yeah. I need to make sure that this variable is initialized. So if I print select position, I know I need to load that API up, don't I? So what was it? os.load API. I've got it here, I think. I'm just changing over to look. Yeah. So os.load API name. Just want to make sure I'm using it properly. I should be able to do APIs. Let's try that. Expected number. What? Let's try. No. Okay, I messed up something there, so that's... Let's just... So I've now got select in this directory, so... I should probably make sure I unload... Expected number. Let me just figure this out, and I'll come back to you. Okay, I'm back, and I've solved all my problems, I believe. So, if we look at our file system, we've still got our logger and our quick door. I've made it, actually, I can remove that test program. Okay, so I have a folder called APIs. Inside here we have our select API. Now, it has it has one variable that it stores, which is select position. So what I'm doing is I'm replacing the original select function with with my own version. And first of all, it stores the position, and then does the original function. And then what it does is it will write the state to a file. So if I reboot, then it will still know where the, well, what position the cursor was in, or if I log out and log in. Then I have a function called getSelectPosition, which I don't know why the last one wasn't working. Well, I'll probably cut that out actually, but this section had a lot of trouble getting it compiled to compile, or whatever the word is, as it was expecting an equal sign for some reason, but I just rewrote it and it was fine. Then I've got a few things to do on when we're loading up the API. First of all, if there isn't a directory called state, it creates it. And then if the file that we wrote to earlier, which stores the state, which is in states, well, it's a file called select in the state folder, we load it up and load the state into the variable. So what I've also got, if we go back, is I've added a startup script, so it will load the API for us on startup, so we can use it as we want. So if we open up Lua, we've got our function called getSelectPos, which returns we're currently in selection 1, which you can see right here. And then if I say turtle.select, say 5, it will move perfectly fine. And then if we get our position, we now see that it's 5. So then let's exit this and reboot the machine. If we open up Lua again, then if we do get select pos, we can see that we're still in 5, so that works fine, which will be useful when doing some other things. There. Right, yeah, it's specifically for the fuel. Right, so I was going to grab the fuel function from logger and slightly modify it a bit. Right, so let's remove that tab in there. Okay, so let's look at our APIs again. Now, let's create a new one for fuel. So what we want to do is make sure that our fuel level is above a certain value. So turtle.get, I know we should probably make a function for this. So our function, what should I call it? I'll just call it fuel check for now. Oh, no, that's not what I wanted. Oh, that's actually kind of press tab. Oh, I don't know what happened there, but that's exactly what I wanted. So if our fuel level is 0, then what we want to do is we're creating a local variable called so we can get the current selected position, and we can get, so if we get what the current position is and store it, so then afterwards we can go back to it. So turtle.select, so what, that's 15, 16, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, that should be 16, shouldn't it? Yeah. Yeah, so then we select 16, and we can do turtle.refuel, and we'll only say 1. Then we can reselect what the original position was, and well, then we don't actually affect our program in any other way. So that's meant to be ... So let's edit our startup to also load API slash, did I call it fuel? Yes, so if we reboot, We should have that now. So what's our current? Our fuel level is currently 11. So we just edit logger, so we can remove this fuel check function. And what we can do is fuel.fuel check, fuel.fuel check, and fuel.fuel check. So this will make sure that our fuel that's in the bottom right, well, will be used for refueling, and anything we're picking up doesn't get included. That means that we have to actually check that there is fuel. Actually, what I might do, let's right, how do we check where's my stats? There we go. So actually I might be able to do it on this, so help total. So get item count. Okay, then I messed that up, but let's reboot. Okay, so total dot get item count and lots of it. Basically what I'm doing is let's put that to 10. No, is so when we get to a level of 10, we check. So then we need to make sure we're actually being fueled. So I'm too used to typing C. So turtle dot get item count greater than 0, then do this. Now the other problem is, okay, so that then if we happen to be completely out of fuel, then we want to be able to refuel from any slot, is my point. We want to give it fuel, but if we want to make sure the program runs, well, and we can get our turtle back. And let's make that else. Actually, let's make that statement outside, so I don't need to type it in. I'll have it in twice in the program. Then, so remove this bit here. Select position. Okay, so if our fuel level is 0, then we want to go through every slot until we can find something that we can fuel with. If I equals 1 to 16, well, actually we can do 15 because, no, let's make it 16. Do end, and we've gone a bit too that. What's going on there? So we do select this new position, and yeah, that should do it. So if our fuel level is 0, then we'll search through everything in the inventory so we can just get fuel and continue on with the task, or later on I guess we can return some error values or something so we can say, hey, we're out of normal fuel or something. Else, that should be space there. And that should be delete. No, that shouldn't be. Where's our... No, that shouldn't be space there. That should be there. I guess that should be like that. Okay. Sorry, I'm a huge tabbing fan and making sure everything's laid out right. So, right, if we have no fuel, grab any. And also adding comments in so I know what's happening later. We have fuel, then I'll just put dot dot dot. I know what it means. So we have fuel. We refuel from there. Okay, that should work, I think. That seemed to be okay. So, it's currently night, and I almost got an Enderman attacking me. So I guess what I'll do is wait for daytime